Hello everyone, it's Jake with the Game Blog. So as you can see, we're back with another in-person video. You all seem to like the PS5 video, so here we are again. So essentially what we're going to be doing today is unboxing and looking at the 8BitDo USB wireless adapter. And with this thing, we're going to be connecting this thing to this thing. And you're probably wondering, how the heck are we going to do that? Well, this thing, essentially, allows us to connect any wireless controller to it, or at least any one that it's able to support, which more controllers will be added in the future as they update the firmware. And we just plug it into the Switch, connect to the Wii remote, and boom, the Switch registers it as a Pro controller, which can cause some complications with button alignments, but we'll fix that later. But the first thing we're going to need to do is update the firmware. Now note, I have already done this. I have already done all of this, and I had recorded it, but my recording completely glitched, so I'm redoing it all for you guys, but some of this might be different than what I'm telling you to do. So if you see me doing something that I'm saying to do something else, just follow what I'm saying instead of what I'm doing, because I might need to do something different since I've already done this, if that makes sense. Now without further ado, let's update the firmware. So as you can see, we are at the 8BitDo website, and there's multiple stuff on their home screen, and you can see what we need to get right here is already on their home screen, but it might not always be there, so I'm just going to show you how to navigate to that easily if it's not on their home screen. So you go to Products, scroll down, and it's right there. Now, this is where you will buy the adapter if you want to get it, and it says all the features and such, but this is not where we want to get the stuff to update the firmware. To do that, we go to Support, and we do the exact same thing, scroll right down. Don't click that, that was an accident. We scroll right down and click Firmware Updater. Now there's also the manual and frequently asked questions if you do need that. So you'll see that that takes you to the upgrade tool, and I'm going to be downloading the Windows version. If you have a Mac, you're going to be downloading the Mac version. And I've deleted my copy of it so I can show you guys how this actually works, because it's super easy to uninstall and re-download without any consequences. So I'm just going to save to my downloads folder. You can save it anywhere you want. And now I'm going to extract all. And I'm just going to choose where I want to extract it to. I'm choosing my downloads folder because that's where I downloaded the actual zipped file to. Go into the files, and you'll see there's a 8BitDo firmware updater. Now what you're going to want to do is make sure that your 8BitDo wireless adapter is plugged into your computer. So I just plug that in right now. And open the firmware updater. And sometimes if it doesn't detect it immediately, you're going to want to, if it doesn't detect it immediately, you're going to want to unplug the adapter and plug it back in, but it detected mine, so that's good. And mine is already up to date, but I'm going to just do firmware update anyway. And you'll see I can update it to whatever version I want. Right now I'm at V2.01, which is currently the newest version. But you can send it back to other firmware updates as well, which is nice. Now I'm going to keep mine the way it is because it's already at the latest update. And once it's all updated and such, you can X out and take the 8BitDo adapter out of your computer. But if you want to use the Ultimate software, go to Ultimate Software and USB adapter. Now essentially what this will allow you to do is for select controllers, you can change the button mapping that it has on the controller itself without having to do it through the Switch, because not all consoles offer that. So I'm going to be downloading Windows, save as, save, show in folder, and we're going to do all the same things we did with the other one. And you'll see it has Ultimate Software for Windows and 8BitDo Ultimate Software. Now you'll see this dialog box pop open. Just ignore it. Essentially, you just go to More Info and Run Anyway. I have made sure, and it does not harm your computer in any way. It's just Windows doesn't recognize the file type, so it's just taking some extra precautions to make sure that you're safe. Now, my 8-bit DOE device is connected, and essentially you just choose whatever controller you want, connect that to your computer, and you can get on with doing that. Now, I'm not going to be using any of those for this today, since I can just remap the buttons on my Switch, which I will be showing you how to do, but essentially all you have to do is just connect it. It's super easy for the PlayStation controller. Just hold down the home button and the share button until it starts blinking, and go into your Bluetooth and connect it. Switch Pro controller, just connect it via a USB-A to USB-C cable. And Xbox, I have no idea, I don't have anything Xbox, but that should be pretty easy to figure out. I mean, I figured out with the PlayStation just by doing a quick Google search, so it should be just as easy for the Xbox. But since now we've got all that done, let's get to the actual thing we're going to do. We are going to now use a Wii Remote with the Switch. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to take our USB adapter and we're going to plug it in to the Switch. Also, you can ignore all these wires coming from the Switch. Those are just so that I can capture the footage from the Switch. You don't need any of those at all unless you want to capture Switch gameplay. And the only reason I need all these wires is because I don't really have a halfway decent capture card. So we've got that plugged in. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a controller that's already connected to the Switch. Go in controllers, and we're going to change group in order. Now we're going to take off the back of the Wii Remote, hold down the sync button, and hold down the sync button on the adapter. And wait for them to connect. And then you'll feel the Wii Remote vibrate. Now you'll see there's nothing on screen. We'll just press A, and you're good. So you want to put the battery cover back on, and as you can see, I have already got my button mapping reset, and right now it's set to what I have it for Mario Kart. I'm going to show you what that button mapping is, so then you can see for Mario Kart. So here's what I have for my preset mapping for just the Wii Remote sideways like this. And note, its default is sideways. So this is pretty good for a game like Mario Kart. And I'm pretty sure it would also work pretty well for Super Smash Bros., given that D-pad registers as a control stick. So any game really that you're going to want to use the Wii Remote sideways, I'm pretty sure this is, I think, the best configuration. But it could be better. I could switch around a few buttons. You just do what you want to do. But right now what we're going to do is test out a game of Mario Kart with this. Now, I played hours and hours of the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8. So what I'm going to see is, can I get first place with this button mapping? Because I always use the Wii wheel. Now, granted, I use motion controls, which you can't do with this, but still, I'm going to see if I can get first place with this. Because if this does replicate the feel of the Wii U version fairly well, I should be able to get first place, because I still have that muscle memory. I made sure of it a few hours ago. But if I don't get first place, I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to tell you what's wrong with the controls. If there is anything, I might just have it backwards. But I figured, why not just do this, because it's kind of fun. So we're going to be doing a versus race at 150cc, and we're going to be doing my favorite track, Swamp Ruins. So let's see how good these controls really are, as soon as this loads. There we go. So this almost perfectly recreates the feel of the Wii U when playing with the Wii Remote and not using motion controls. I'm not noticing any input lag at all, which is nice. Which is honestly kind of astonishing, given that this is going through an adapter that's wireless. If it was a wired adapter, I wouldn't expect any lag, but I honestly went into this expecting a lot of lag because it's wireless. And also, of course, the fact that the Bluetooth and the Wiimotes really are... It's not up to date at all. This is like... Remember, this is... They didn't update the Bluetooth and the Wiimotes across any of the models. So this is technically 2006 technology running on a 2017 system on Nunchuck. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this adapter. Really, the only limitations are the limitations of the Wiimote itself and the Switch's ability to remap buttons. Hopefully in the future, they update their button remapping ultimate software so that it supports Wiimotes, so then you're able to remap the buttons more accurately. But other than that, this thing's pretty good. So now what we're going to try is the same thing, but with the Nunchuck. So once I connect the Nunchuck, it automatically has this map to a control stick, and this map to R, this map to L. But the thing is, all the control in the Wii Remote are kind of still finicky. The D-pad is automatically switched to a vertical orientation, which is nice, but all the buttons are still what I have them set for Mario Kart. So I'm going to go back into System Settings, down to Controllers and Sensors, change button mapping, and let's just try resetting them and see what happens. Wait, there we go. And let's see what it registers each button as. So for that, we're going to go to Test Input Devices and Test Controller Buttons. So A is A, B is B, plus is plus, minus is minus, 1 is X, 2 is Y, Z is L, and C is R. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now let's see how comfortable this is as a control style with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, I will say, I have never played Mario Kart with a Wii Remote and Nunchuck. I've always just used the Wii Wheel and Wii Remote or the Joy-Con. But let's try, you know what, for the heck of it, let's try a different course this time. Why not Music Park? And let's see if this works pretty well. Okay, so immediately it feels kind of weird using C to drift. So when remapping the buttons, I think I'd want to swap L and R, which are C and Z, because it feels almost like I should be pressing Z, not C, to do a drift. But overall, the controls feel pretty good. The adapter, really, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, other than that glitch with the Nunchuck that I found so far. Yeah, this, it really, it does what's advertised. And there we go. Now, I do find it a little odd that Z is automatically mapped to L and C R. I feel like it would have been better the other way around. But other than that, I feel like the Wii Remote plus Nunchuck, even without any button remapping, is pretty good. Now, here's where things get a little weird. Right, I forgot I can't unplug this thing. If you do unplug an attachment and then re-plug it in, it works fine, which is nice. But if we plug in a Classic Controller Pro, now note, this is a third-party one, but in the past, it's worked exactly the same as a first-party one, and it works great. Things get a little weird. So, first off, none of the face buttons do anything. And the control stick sometimes works, but it's always drifting downwards, which is kind of weird. So yeah, that's kind of weird. So you won't be able to use a Classic Controller Pro with this, sadly. I don't know about a regular Classic Controller, but this isn't working, unless we may have a fix. Now, you know what I told you about if you unplug the Nunchuck and you plug in or if you don't plug in anything and it just is completely despondent, we're going to try the same process as doing that, but with this already attached. And we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to unplug this, and my switch just got unplugged from the dock. It should be back on in just a second. There we go. There, plug it back in. We're going to press 1 and 2. There, it's connected. Oh my gosh, it works. I honestly didn't know that at all. I just tried that now. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to be testing a Mario Kart race with this because, I mean, it's basically a Switch Pro controller. I showed one, but I don't have it with me right now. It's somewhere in there. But yeah, that's everything we have with the Wiimote. And that's the whole point of the video. But, as a little bonus, let's try something a little more ambitious.
A few moments later.
Now, the DualSense wireless controller has the most advanced vibration and some of the most accurate gyro in the controller. What happens if we connect it to the Switch and play Mario Kart with it? And motion controls are supported with this, so this will be interesting. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the home screen, and now I'm going to go down to controllers. Right, and you press A on this. Change grip and order. And what we're going to want to do is hold down the share button and the home button on the PS5 controller until it starts to blink. Like so. Then we're going to hold down the sync button until it starts to blink. And let go. And now we wait. And there we go. We have a PS5 controller connected to a Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm going to quickly change a super quick thing with the remapping of the buttons because right now O is accept and X is back. So typically that's swapped on PlayStation. So I'm just going to change that, which I already have a button remapping for that. For PS5, it just switches the A and B buttons. And the PlayStation button now acts as a home button, of course. And the touchpad works as a screenshot, which is nice. So now we're going to try playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the PS5 controller. Now, like I said before, gyro works, but this is some of the most accurate gyro. So will it work better on Switch or will it work the same? Let's see. Now, what course are we going to do? Let's give ourselves a challenge and play Mute City from F-Zero. That feels like it fits the PS5 controller well. Now, note, none of the actual, the resistance on the triggers, none of that's going to carry over to Mario Kart because it's not programmed into the game. And the haptic feedback will just be regular vibrations, but still works a lot better on the PS5 controller than it does on the Switch. So immediately, I am feeling a difference in the vibrations. I think the PS5 controller might be sensing the vibrations it's giving it and trying to, like, make it better. I don't know, but, like, the controller, some of the vibrations feel different than each other. Like, it's almost like the controller is trying to make the vibrations better than they are. But I think this is now my preferred way to play Mario Kart, just because of how good the controller works with it. Now, I will say the gyro, it works really well, Like, I think it's more accurate than the Switch's. But what I will say is it is not as sensitive as the Switch's, meaning you'll have to turn more if you want to turn more in the game, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. You actually have to turn your hand a decent amount and turn the car a decent amount, rather than just turning it like a millimeter on the Switch Pro controller. So I got second instead of first, and I don't think that's because of the controller at all. I think this is just because I've not played this track very much. That's why I said it was a challenge. But I will say that the adapter, again, no lag. This is honestly amazing. And it works great with the controller. The variety of controllers that you can use is honestly pretty impressive. And more controllers will likely be added in the future. So this adapter I think is great. And it's only $20 for all of this. It's just, wow. So I guess that wraps it up for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. And why don't you subscribe while you're there? It's free, easy, and you can always unsubscribe if you want. With that out of the way, thank you all for watching. I'm Jake with the Game Vlog, signing off.